Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about comments now. So when we are coding in Python or in any other language, sometimes we want to leave little comments or notes for ourselves so that we can understand the code. So the way we do that is we type hashtag symbol, so that's Shift 3 in front of any line. Whenever Python sees the hashtag symbol, it will ignore the rest of the line after that symbol. So you can see here that it's ignored the rest of the line of code there. Now we actually do need this line of code, so I'm just going to press enter to restore that line of code. But if I go back up to the first line, after the hashtag, I can type in an English sentence or an English note to remind me what this code is doing. So in this case, I'm just going to say, ask the user for their names. Okay, maybe their first name here. And then I'm going to add another comment before line 3 that says, ask the user for their surname. And then another comment before line 6, which says construct or display the award message using the user's names. Okay, so those are just handy comments that you can leave within your code to remind you of what the code does, or other humans like your friends or your teachers who will be marking your work so that they can understand what's going on as well. Now you may think that, oh, that's a bit useless because this program is pretty basic. I don't need to put in all these comments because the code themselves kind of describe what's going on. And that's fine for simple programs. But if we take a look at more complicated programs, like the Snake program that we've played around with before, and you can see the Snake program is a lot more complicated than simply just asking for the user's name and then displaying it in a little message. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here, and this is where comments will come in super useful to help understand what's going on. So if we take a look at the code here, you can kind of see that we have a comment here that says move the snake body. So you get a clue that this is probably responsible for moving the snake around. You can see a comment here that checks, did the snake eat itself? So that's ending the game if the snake jumps and eats itself. That's giving us a hint that those two lines of code is doing that, and so on and so forth. Generate new food can't be located in the snake. When you generate a new food in the game, ideally you don't put it into the snake. So that's a bit of the code that actually does that. So you can see here, these comments do come in useful for yourself when you're looking at the code, or for your teachers if they're marking your code. And they come in very, very helpful when the code gets more complicated. So even though the code at the moment that you're writing is pretty basic, getting into the practice of writing comments and putting them into your code right now will prove very useful later on.